We got the Tearalaments here, and this is an entire waifu-based archetype, so you already know out of the gate it's either going to be really good or really, really good. Back 30% of you guys have not smashed the crap out of the subscribe button. Smash as we get to 105,000. Tearalament is you know what, it's just a combination Tearalament, and element. Thank you for jamming as many words as possible into one sentence. So you're not gonna really be able to see the work here or art in this video, but that's fine. So Tearalaments Nibiru. So 802,000. If this card is normal or special summon, you send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Yes, it's actually going to be a mill-based deck. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck by placing fusion materials mentioned on it from your hand, field, and or graveyard on the bottom of your deck in any order, including this card. And it's just, if it's sent to the graveyard via a card effect, you get to do a fusion summon. I'm not too sure what kind of gimmick they were going for with that, but hey, a mill 3 and a fusion summon using your graveyard on disruption. Okay, so we got Hoffinius here. I probably just butchered that, but that's okay. So first, second effects, this card's name once per turn. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, quick effect, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. So if your opponent activates anything, you get to beam this on out. If this is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck by placing fusion materials listed on it from your hand, field, and or graveyard on the bottom of your deck in any order, including this card. That is 2 monsters that give you quick fusion summons for really no restriction whatsoever. Okay. Sheelan here. So this is our level 4. By the way, these first 3 are all dark. So, during your main phase, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you do, send one monster from your hand to the graveyard, and then send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. It's just discard a monster special at mill 3. You can't tell me that... And I also just noticed that these all work if being sent to the graveyard. Oh, that's even better because you can mill them off. Oh my gosh, I just realized that. That is so good. Okay, it's just if they're sent to the graveyard, not even from the field. Oh, that's so much better. And then the same effect here. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can do the fusion summon again. So all 3 of the base monsters include that effect. Rhino Heart. Now this one is a little bit different. This one is a water aqua. Okay, well this is our water aqua monster. Yeah, these were dark aqua. So this is where we break the mold now. So you can only use first, second, this card's name once per turn. So if this card is no more special summon, you can send one Tearalaments monster from your deck to the graveyard, except for Rhino Heart. So yes, these all have Tearalaments here. And then of course, guess what? It will get to trigger because it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect. I love an Armageddon Night effect. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, special summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field. And if you do, you can send a Tearalaments monster from your hand to the graveyard. They just wanted this whole archetype to go fusion summon, fusion summon, fusion summon. It happens to work out here. So this is one Tearalaments monster plus an aqua monster. So actually, the thing that's going to hurt you here is, well, no, actually, it's just via type. Okay. So, yeah, these were dark aqua. All right, cool. So, it's not a water monster. Okay, so that works out. So, you only use the first, second, and third effects of this card's name once per turn. So, if this card is special summoned, you can take one Tearalaments card from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. And technically, if you send it to the graveyard, you met the conditions to do another fusion summon. Oh boy. You can target one monster you control, special summon one Tearalaments monster from your hand or graveyard, and if you do, send the targeted monster to the graveyard. You know, for a 25 or 2300 monster, I feel like there's got to be like a cheese way to multiply, bring out a good chunk of these. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, and send the top 5 cards of your deck to the graveyard. That's a big mill. Okay. Then we got Tearalaments Rhino Heart plus 2 aqua monsters. Okay, so this requires you to use the dumper, or the Armageddon Knight here. So, cannot be used as fusion material. You can only use the first, second effects of this card's name once per turn. So, for 2 aqua monsters and Rhino Heart, for a 3,000, I guess. If this card is special summon or another aqua monster sent to your graveyard by a card effect while this card is on the field, and target one card your opponent controls, shuffle into the deck. Okay, that's pretty alright. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard by a card effect, you can special summon this card if you send one Tearalaments card from your deck to the graveyard. You know, this is all looking really good so far. Oh boy. Pirlanio, the Primal Parallel Ruined Realm. You can activate one card with this card's name once per turn. You can only use the third effect with this card's name once per turn. When this card resolves, you can add one Tearalaments monster or a waifus Starfrost from your deck to your hand. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a Starfrost searcher. You got the ability to search for any Tearalaments monster that you want. Fusion monsters and Tearalental monsters will get 500 attack points. So archetype has to be good. If a Tearalaments monster or monsters was returned from your field and or graveyard to the extra deck, target one card in the field and destroy it. This field spell is really, really good. I cannot stress to you the level of power that they wanted to put into this archetype, because like this is good. Oh boy, we got some trap cards here. So Tearalaments Metanoise? Okay. So you can only use the first, second effects of this card's name once per turn. So if you control a Tearalaments monster or a waifus Starfrost, target one face-up monster opponent controls, change it to face-down defense position, and then send a Tearalaments monster from your deck to the graveyard, which then will let you proc a fusion summon. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you target a Tearalaments monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Oh no, the trap cards also have. Cool. So the trap cards all do things in the graveyard as well here. Okay, Tearalaments Salic. Okay, so this is a continuous trap card. So first, second effects this card's name once per turn. So if you control a Tearalaments monster or a waifus Starfrost, target one effect monster your opponent controls and negate its effects, and send one monster you control to the graveyard. That's a pretty hefty trade-off. If you control one, you get to negate something, but then you have to send something, but that's okay, because you're going to get to perform a fusion summon. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Tearalaments monster from your deck to your hand. What? These traps are so good. Tearalaments Crime. You can only... Oh no, it's a counter trap card. Oh no. You can only use the first, second effects of this card's name once per turn, only once that turn. Okay, so when a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated and you control a Tearalaments monster or a waifus Starfrost, negate that activation, and if you do, shuffle that target into the deck, and then send one monster from your hand to the graveyard. And then on resolution, I'd like to trigger my fusion summon. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can target one of your banished Tearalaments monsters and add it back to your hand. Wow, this archetype is amazing. This is really good. I am super excited for this. We also have one more other interesting little piece of card for you today. Alright, this is the other card that we got today. This is Reverse Nibiru, actually. I think this card is absolutely awesome. So cannot be normal summoner set, must be special summoned from your hand by tributing all face-up monsters on the field that activated an effect in your opponent's monster zone this turn. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. So yes, it's not a quick effect to reverse do the thing, but you can summon it via attributing everything that's activated. So if your opponent has done a whole bunch of effects that are basically, detrimental, you just go ahead and roll this one out. It's also a level 1, which is very interesting. Gains 1500 attack for each tributed monster for its special summon. Alright, that's really good. And then during your end phase, you can target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to your field. Now, I actually think that this is hilarious, because why not just give it that effect? The fact that this thing can board wipe was already pretty enormous, but we went ahead and gave it one more stipulation, which was, oh yeah, by the way, you can go ahead and take something from your opponent's graveyard. I do think this will be a very, very, very good card in the future here, and you can already see like how awesome this is. So that is the rest of your news for the reveals here. And I'm just going to say this, there's a lot of waifu stuff and a lot of cool things that we're going to be making on this channel in the near future. Guys, leave a comment down below what you guys think. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. And I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. check out these other videos.